Good evening. I'm gonna call you Ms.Black since I didn't get your name. So, I am responding to your query for a reading. And since you just said you wanted, in your life in general, I decided to do a life purpose reading for you. So before I begin, life purpose, it doesn't mean like, your career or specifically or, what you're supposed to be doing. But your life purpose as far as your day-to-day life, the things that you do, there's purpose in everything that you do. So this is just going to touch on those things for you. So before I begin, I'll show you my cards. So there's just this deck. I call this the growth deck or the chrysalis deck because it represents growth, the images and the words, and it represents growth, forward moving, progress, and just positive encouragement, things that involve our life. And so there's just images and words on them, nothing, fancier, anything like that. So I'm going to pull 5 cards for you. And as I pull the cards, I will explain what each card represents and then the message that wish to come through. So the messages that come through these cards are from your spirit guides, your angels, your creator, whatever your religious background is, or spirituality, whether if you have one, if you don't matter. It's always somebody looking out for you in the universe. And tonight they are here to give you some insight on your life. So I have shuffled the deck. Before I begin, I always say a prayer, which I have done prior to starting this recording in order to save on time. So with that being said, I'm going to pull the first card. The first card represents where you are now, currently in your life. Card 1, out of the dark. So that's pretty grand. Currently you're out of the dark. You've just come out of the dark. So this means I feel like there's been a revelation that you just came to, like you just realized something, like, man, I don't have to be this way anymore, or I don't have to do this if I don't choose to, or if I don't want to. So currently you're coming out of the darkness. You have an idea of where you're going, what you're about to do next, and that's definitely a positive start. Excuse me. Card number 2 represents where you are aspiring to be. And this says, have no fear. So this is a sword. Swords, are always a symbol of strength and valor and courage, especially to me. So you're aspiring to be fearless. I know how that can be, because we go through life, most of our life, living based off of the opinions of others or based off of the expectations of others. And when we finally stop living with those expectations, it can be scary, because we're, even though the things that we were doing weren't the things that we really wanted to, they had become comfortable to us. So then when we start finally becoming independent of those things, it can be a little scary at first, but you have nothing to worry about. This is a positive action for you. This is a positive time for you. So this is where you're aspiring to be, having no fear. So have no fear, honey. Don't fear, girl. Don't fear. Card number 3 is going to represent what you bring to the table. So family and love. So there's a big heart here. This represents the color orange. Yellow represents confidence, represents, trusting in yourself, self-esteem. And the color orange represents relationships and love, emotions, understanding yourself. So what you bring to the table are these strong values. You have a strong sense of family. And this is good because this is like a support system for you. This is a backbone for you. It's also a catalyst for creating abundance. So very positive, very positive energy here. Continue on. And again, have no fear, because your family is there for you, and also that confidence that you have in yourself. Don't let anybody shake that confidence you have. Again, coming out of the darkness, just great. You know, I'm feeling a great energy. I feel like you know, just elated for some reason, very happy, excited, you know, feeling like, yes, things are finally going my way. So, you know, they are. So, you know, keep up that positive energy. Now, card number 4 is going to be what's blocking you from stepping into your life's purpose. Your mind. Now, I can say I pull this card for myself a lot when it comes to what's blocking me from doing something. And this goes back to this card, have no fear. This is where you're aspiring to be. The biggest fear in our lives, ironically, doesn't come from an outside source. It comes from our own minds, because we put up barriers for ourselves because we've been doing something a certain way for so long. We're like, well, nah, I'm not going to do that. Or we tend to talk ourselves out of things that we know we should be doing, or that we have the potential and the capacity to do, because we're afraid, or because we worry about what our peers or loved ones will think of us. But none of that matters, because this is your life and you have to make waves for yourself, and it's not up to anybody else how you feel or what you do for yourself. So card number 5 is going to represent action steps and something to consider. Preparation. So this means you need to start preparing for that next stage in your life. So understand that once you let go of one phase of your life, you open yourself up to an influx of new energy. So now you should be, you know, prepping yourself. You've just come out of the darkness. So with that being said, that means you're illuminated. Like when I look at this card too, the golden spiral, it represents light coming out of it, coming out of the dark. So this means that everything around you should be illuminated. You should be able to clearly see everything that's going on around you. This means personal relationships that you have with close friends or family members. Preparation, getting rid of things that you don't need in order to allow room for the things you do need to enter. So this means getting rid of people, places, things, habits that no longer serve you, and especially that are doing the opposite of what you just did, coming out of the dark. If they ain't with it, then they get left behind. And if they truly love you and respect you, then they'll understand that it's nothing personal, but it's just that now it's time for you to move on to this next chapter in your life. You can't fill a cup that's already full. So if you're expecting for, you know, abundance or a big major change, that change is going to start when you begin making the necessary preparations to receive it. So I hope that has been helpful for you. Not too long, not too intricate, just very simple. You know, your angels and guides are always there for you, always looking out for you, and they are always at your, you know, your call. So all you have to do is ask. These cards just act as a way for you to tangibly hear the messages right when you ask. I tell people all the time, every time we say a prayer, every time we ask, we always get the answer. But sometimes we just aren't in the right mind to receive it or to acknowledge or accept it. And these cards are just a medium between, you know, guidance, you know, that comes through here, through here for you. So it's not the cards that are doing the talking, it's your angel, it's creator, it's your spirit guide. So I hope that has been helpful. If you have any other questions, just let me know. Bye bye. Stay blessed.